Alright, so today we're going to try practicing on aluminum. So I've got 2% methonated, 1/16 tungsten, and I've got the number 6 cup on here. I've already got it sharpened up, I just need to clean it with the alcohol. I've got a aluminum square tube over there that I'm going to cut little pieces off and try to use that to practice with. Gonna switch it over to AC and then kind of see what settings are available in that welder, and we'll go from there. I also forgot to mention I've got 16-inch filler rod. This is 40-43. Pretty clean cut. I don't know if you can see that. Clean cut for the cold saw. Head over to here. Oh, I do have the new hose for the gas installed there too, so I don't have any leaks there. I do believe I gotta switch over these lines. So I'm actually using ChatGPT to try to get some settings dialed in. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave these in the comment. So we've got 1 second for pre-flow, starting amperage is 25, upslope is at 0, amperage is at 140, 400 hertz for frequency. We've got 30% AC balance, 0 downslope, and ending amperage is 10 amps. So let's give that a shot. I've got pulse off. Oh, I gotta change my tungsten. I do that. Yep. 16. Again, remote, I don't know what that is. It's at 2T, so we'll just leave that. Gas. I don't know what I wanted for gas. It says 15 at 20 CFH. So let's cut that in the middle, about 17. All right, what did I do with my helmet? Oh, I put it in the box. So yes, Welder is going to send me a new helmet. I think mine is defective, but that's what I've got for now. So let me go grab that and we'll use it for now. Really hoping that this is working. I won't know until I try it. So we've got that, The table is clean. Give it a shot. Yeah, so the tick torch is on the positive side and the ground is on the negative side. So I guess that's right. Give it a shot. I do have a fan in the background just because it is super hot in here. I'm hoping that's not going to interfere. It may with the gas. So let me put that on the ground. Keep that low. And we'll go from there. Well, it didn't like that. It ate the tungsten right up. So heck happened. Clearly it has some setting wrong. So I don't think it's supposed to do that. I literally just zapped it on and it ate the tungsten. So I'm thinking maybe my amperage is too high. Because that literally ate right through the metal. All right, so I just spoke with a buddy. I had my terminals backwards. So I learned with TIG, doesn't matter if you're doing AC or DC, with this unit at least, they stay the same. So I've got the ground strap on positive and then the torch on negative. So that was completely wrong. That's probably why it ate through all my tungsten.
Idiot!
Amperage isn't too far. I'm gonna dial that back just a little bit. I did adjust my frequency from, I think it was what, 300 or 400. I moved it down to 110. So we'll give that a shot. Amperage I probably moved down to 130. Give that a shot, and I'm going to swap out my tungsten because I'm welding 1/8" aluminum. I'm going to swap that back to 3/32 versus the 16th, and I just have 16th filler rods, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that, try to put down some beads, and go from there. Wasn't using any filler rod on that. Just kind of. That is pretty hot. Just trying to see what it would do. I don't really know. I'm just gonna try to lay some filler down and see what it does. Kind of hot, burning right through it, not using enough filler. Wondering if gas makes a difference. As you can see, it's kind of just melting, so we'll see what happens. I feel like my pedal's not working. It's just on off. So I'm gonna review the footage and see if that changed at all. Like it's supposed to. Alright, so I did some more digging and two things that I found. One, I didn't change the size of my tungsten. I still had it on 16th, so I just moved that to 3/32. And the remote the whole time, so all of last welding and this welding, I had it on 2T, which is like, I don't know, I don't even know what that is, I have to look it up, but I was supposed to put it to pedal, so that's why I couldn't fluctuate what my amperage was, and that's precisely why it was just on all the time and blowing right through it. So I've got those two things figured out and fixed. Let's move on to the next brick and give that a shot. way better. So I gotta figure out the pedal, but honestly I was laying down something. I do need to turn the gas down just a little bit. I don't think I need full 20 on that. I have probably closer to 23, so that's not half bad. We're laying something down. Penetrated down here, but honestly, my filler rod is too small to really do anything, so I'm gonna flip it on one more side, and then honestly, I'll probably try to join two and see what happens. Learning that pedal is completely different, but I got better penetration on that. I just need more filler, and honestly that's halfway expected because I'm using 16. So I'm gonna try to join two of these together, see what happens. So I found that my filler rod is just kind of like melting off the edge. So I'm not really sure. But I got them to stick. I probably should have tack welded it first. That probably would have been smart. But let's flip the other side and see what we can do. I'm clearing out the cleaning to maybe 40%. See what that does. So I've got my two tacks in there, just kind of giving that a shot. First one was kind of iffy, second one looks pretty decent. Let's zip it through and see what happens. Kind of had some crap in there. I think it was from the original blowout that I had in the beginning. But it's not horrible. It's a good cleaning action. I gotta work on consistency, but you can see in the left one was the last one that I just did, and that was one of the first trials that I did. Not a whole lot of penetration there on the edge, but again, I'm not hitting it with a ton of amperage because my filler rod, I think, is a little on the smaller side. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But that's what I've got so far. Something else that I read, with aluminum, when it tends to get a little on the hotter side, you gotta let it cool down essentially. So right now I'm at well, the larger piece is 225, the smaller piece is 185. So, I don't know. Maybe because I was welding the larger piece longer and I did all those sides, and on the smaller one I only did one side. We'll see. Not sure if that's an issue as far as temperature to keep welding. But I'd like to lay it down a few more beads and see what I can come up with. All right, so a couple of new things here today. I did pick up a new ESOP helmet. This is the A60. So I did try this on and I like how it looks and I like how it fits. It actually fits lower on the head so that way it doesn't feel like it's super top heavy. And then I've got my AirPods, so I'm gonna try introducing some music and then counting my dabs. That way I can get a little bit more uniformity and just keep everything on the same pace. So we're gonna try that out. And I also got some stainless steel brushes off Amazon, so I'm gonna use this to clean up the aluminum. So today we're actually gonna be welding aluminum. And then I've got some acetone. So a little bit more cutting power than the actual alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So we're gonna give this a shot. I did get some aluminum piping, so I cut some pieces on that. And we're gonna try tack welding and then welding around that just to get a feel for that. So sit back and follow along. So I did rinse my parts and I deburred the edges. So just wiping the water out for now, getting a lot of the junk, and then I'll go in with the acetone for final cleaning. I did sharpen my tungsten to 22.5 degrees versus 30. So we're gonna try that out. And then I got my filler rod, which is the ER 4043. So get a couple of these. So it's just super tight, so. Interesting way to start. That's fine too. Good thing I didn't get my eyes. See how dirty that is? Get another one just to be safe. So I got 1 second pre, 15 start, 50 amps, 110 frequency, 30% clean, 7 second post. So let's try that. We'll go from there. I'm gonna do this for now for tacking. Kind of go from there. So we're at about 18. Go from there. I need some actual filler rod, just even for tacking. Might need to bump that up a little bit, amperage wise. Go to 60 and then I'll pedal it. Didn't really want to melt. Get the helmet fitting properly. Another new issue. Not really an issue, but just something that I kind of worked through. Well, that's my first one. First dip. Alright, I got my tacks. Still look a little dirty in there for some reason, but let's go ahead and start laying down some dimes and see what happens. And that's difficult, but I think we're making a little bit of progress. We'll see. I think I just need some practice. I'll probably get one of those pinky guards. I think that's going to help out a lot. Too far away on that. It's hard up here. Maybe I should get one of those, what do they call those? Like a bench press little clamp versus up on here. Let's try that. That's way better. So I think just the comfortability is the issue. So that's where I blew the hole. You see that? So I didn't fill that in. I could probably fill that in and work on that, but that's what we're looking at. That's the area I did go back over, and that's kind of what the penetration looks like. So I don't know if that's going to come through on camera. Plan on zipping this off or letting it cool down, and I'll clean up this edge and weld on another one and keep going. Bring this back down to 55 amps. Starting amps 25. These tacks aren't really doing much. We'll try a little bit of filler rod. Maybe I just need to get hotter with it. Moving down to the table. Some of this stuff has a weird edge. It wasn't fitted properly. And I broke my tap. not working. End of my tungsten is blue. I don't know if that's good or not. I'm gonna try and swap it out. This is a new one. And that's the holes I was just creating. And the penetration, still horrible. Let's see. All right, back out here to give it another shot. A couple of things that I'm changing up is I'm gonna lower my amperage and increase the time that I need to basically clean and melt. That way I'm not just burning through. And then I also changed my electrode from 1/16 to 3/32. Still gonna keep the 16th filler rod, but with less amperage, hoping to kind of minimize the blow through on the tubes. I am going to up the cleaning to 35% also. Still having trouble with the tack welding. Don't know why. But they're definitely getting a lot more uniform, so and you know, I noticed I didn't actually clean the outside, nor did I clean it with the acetone, so that's probably my problem. This is all just practice, so we're learning as we go. Go up 5 amps because I was all in it the whole time. And that pipe was cool, so it took more. It's not horrible. Penetration is looking significantly better. So it's more uniform all around. That's not bad. That's the new weld right there. So we're getting there. I'm gonna go quench it and then get that one done. All right, got my tacks done. Just curious how they are. Oh, there's decent penetration on both of those. So, and they're clean. Yep. So I wonder if that was my issue. Let's give it a shot. We'll go from there. So I think I need to let it dwell up a little bit more. Can't really see the penetration. So let it sit a little bit slower. So that one I deliberately counted my dabs, went a little bit slower. Let's look at penetration. Towards the end it looks good. try more of that. And I got 9 dabs until I ran out of room. So let's probably keep it to like 7 or 8. That way I'm comfortable. I think the pipe's starting to get hot because I can see how it's just kind of sinking a bit more in there. Penetration isn't bad. I'm pretty happy with that. So as time goes on, we're just getting progressively better and better. Let me go quench this down and then we'll take a look at it. All right, so this is where we started out. You can see how it's just, I blew holes. And this isn't even the worst one. This is probably my second one. The first one, I chopped off. So you really can't even see the worst of it. So I did that one, then moved on to this one. I forgot to clean, but these look pretty decent. There's some few spots right there. That's where I realized I didn't clean. And then I cleaned it all and I continued here. And was not a whole lot of penetration on this one, so I need to go a little bit better. Bumped it up 5 amps. This one's clean, and I basically did all the way around. So still some imperfections, but you can see the cleaning is occurring. It's not like super jagged, it's kind of flattish. Here I wasn't giving it enough time to, forget the term, but basically flow out to each toe. But I did get better. And then you can see, I don't know if you can see actually, I've got some decent penetration all the way around that circle. So, except for this area here, which is okay because we're getting better. So, just gotta slow it down a little bit. I go through almost a whole rod within 9 or 10 dabs. I feel like, I could be wrong on that, but I'm just gonna feed more. I might step this up to a little bit larger, although I kind of like this, so I don't really know. I might try it just to see what happens, but I mean, for the gist of it, a couple more practice runs and I should be able to start welding on our intake piping. So that's what I've got for this week. Dabbling with some aluminum. Still need to do the stainless downpipes, so I still need to brush up on that. Just need to get some different cups. This is what I've got for now. It works perfectly well with aluminum. I just need some more weld time and it's gonna get better and better. So not too bad for 4 times into this. We'll catch you next time. Thanks. Real quick, I did find my first weld and you can see how atrocious it is. Blew a hole there, blew a hole there, blew a hole there, blew a hole there and there. And it's just nasty. So that was my very first tube setup. So a little bit more different than the square stock that I was doing previously, but we're getting better.